it's Ashley with Restore the Delta. Welcome to the January 17th episode of The Current, your place for all California water news. Today, we have a new segment that we'd like to call Fact Check Friday, in which we'll be going over facts or myths within California water. Helping me with this segment today is Restore the Delta's Executive Director, Barbara Barrigan-Parrilla. The way this works is that I'll be asking Barbara here a few questions, and Barbara here will then go ahead and give a short answer. So for our first fact check question today, it is about a social media post shared by the Department of Water Resources earlier this week. In the post, DWR claims that thanks to federal policies enacted in 2024, the State Water Project is able to more efficiently manage water supplies when changes in Delta operations occur. So true or false? With these new changes, can the State Water Project transport more water for farms and communities while also protecting our state's biodiversity and protected species, Barbara?
That's absolutely false, and the reason why is we need to take less water out of the Delta. Here's what happened. The Bureau of Reclamation, the federal government, worked with the Department of Water Resources to update its long-term operations plans for both canals, the Central Valley and Central Valley water projects. Right. Their operations plan, which we all responded to with written comments, is based on a schedule and a scheme that will just make conditions worse for Chinook salmon. That
Right.
fishery has been closed for 2 years, 7 endangered species, but it does export more water for billionaire farmers like the Resnick Empire in Kern County and for speculative development in the Inland Empire.
Oh, wow, perfect. And now we'll be moving on to question number 2. So Carrie Buckman with the Department of Water Resources recently told the board members of Valley Water that the Bay Delta plan is updated regularly. She said that this will encourage the board to support over $9 million in planning funds for the Delta Tunnel. So true or false? Has the Bay Delta plan been regularly updated?
Well, it hasn't. And it's so false that Ms. Buckman deserves a Pinocchio Award, unfortunately, for this one. You know, we're accustomed to government officials bending the truth about what they want to see for proposed projects in the Delta, and some of it we just shine off, but this one was really bad. The Bay Delta Plan, which is the plan that sets water quality and quantity conditions for the Delta, hasn't been updated in over 20 years, with the water quality standards not being updated in over 30. Legally, according to the Clean Water Act, it has to be done every 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And basically, that is why we were part of a Title VI civil rights complaint filed with US EPA that this had to get updated.
Right.
There is a process ongoing right now, but it's been delayed.
Right, perfect. And that brings us to our next question. The Bay Area Council that wants the Delta Tunnel, despite even what the majority of Bay Area people think, recently attended a Valley Water meeting and emphasized how the Delta Conveyance Project is needed to solve the housing crisis in the Bay Area. Is this statement true or false?
This is hilariously false and is the newest talking point of the business community.
Right.
Building a Delta tunnel that takes more water out of the estuary doesn't create housing in the Bay Area or in Southern California.
Right.
My family's a perfect example of this too. We moved to the Delta region where housing was more affordable over 20 years ago because the Bay Area has failed to solve its affordable housing problem.
Right.
And the truth is we need a Marshall Plan to build housing of all kinds at all different economic levels, and a real serious program that gets the unhoused into housing and builds wraparound services, you know, with mental health support to get them integrated back into society. It's a scare tactic, and it's just false.
Right, perfect. And that question wraps up today's Fact Check Friday here with Restore the Delta. Thank you, Barbara, so much for taking the time to do this. And to learn more about our mission to support the Bay Delta estuary and how you can help, go ahead and click the link in our bio.